Dads that didn't want pets but ended up being their biggest fans. At some point, the family has to have the "can we have a dog or cat" conversation. Sometimes, even the most masculine, manly men need to have some tenderness in their lives. And there's no better source of love than a sweet, fluffy puppy or kitten. These dads didn't stand a chance against these four-legged best friends. This dad was adamant about not wanting to bring this golden cutie home because of the cost. Fast forward 10 months and they'd become inseparable. We don't know what happened during that time, many cuddles most likely, but a priceless bond has been formed between father and cat. This guy is definitely going to wake up with a sore arm, judging by the sleeping arrangements. But what did he expect? When he instructed the pup to stay off the bed, the little guy's only option was to curl up on his arm instead. Not everyone is a cat person, especially this man, who criticized the aloof creatures for years. But as it turned out, he just needed the right one. That's when Linus came into his life, and now the cat wishes his owner would be a little less loving. Hairless cats are another story entirely. Not too many people think they're cute, including this dad who adjusted pretty quickly to his now beloved non-fur baby. Once he found out that direct skin-to-skin contact helped with bonding, this probably became a regular scenario. Sometimes you just have to give love a chance. This man was always a cat person and was afraid of dogs, but his wife convinced him to take a chance. Now these two are inseparable sleeping buddies. The man becomes a borderline insomniac without his cuddly doggo. His daughter begged for years to have a pet cat, but it was always followed by a stern no. This stoic dad has obviously changed his tune. If his new role as cat train conductor is any indication, he went from ignoring cats to catering to their every whim. For a while, there was only hatred shared between the father and his unwanted cat, but soon enough the hate was replaced with groceries and banquet meals. Every week he shares each grocery item he buys with the cat, who looks forward to a feast of fried rice and salmon. In the past, this guy swore off having animals in the house. Apparently his exact words were, "I don't want that dang cat in my house." Now he takes his spoiled fur baby to bed every single night, bringing her to her own room. It's safe to say that things have changed. This dad went from backyard obsessed to dog obsessed. Worried that a pet would ruin the backyard, this dad initially said no to pets. 5 years later, he loved having a dog so much that he custom-made a dog mansion for his beloved Kimba. Having a big dog can seem rather daunting, which is why this man was not interested. Good thing his wife had other plans. She now catches him hugging and even singing to their big doggo when he thinks no one is looking. Even the dog thinks it's a bit much. On the flip side, tiny dogs are also thought to be difficult to care for. This dad believed that having a small dog would mean stepping all over it, but after welcoming one into his home and heart, he found a way around that problem. This little guy is his favorite kitchen helper. This grumpy man found a perfectly bitter cat to match his personality. They stare out the window together, both grumbling about their pesky neighbors. After all, people watching is always more fun when you have a like-minded friend along for the ride. This dad already had his hands full with one dog, but the family demanded another. They were all so happy with the fluffy dog, but no one grew to love the new pup more than Dad. Their unexpected bond even progressed to them wearing matching pajamas on Christmas. It can be hard for any animal to feel neglected, but when it changes to love, it's a beautiful thing. This man could never name the dog he never asked for, but over time, more lovable names were made. Now they are the best of friends. When the cat became a part of the family, the dad asked if they could return it. The man didn't want to give the cat a try, but over time, they became so close that he makes sure she's comfortable before reading to her. He turned into a cat dad quicker than anyone expected. The cat belonged to his daughter, and the plan was for the friendly feline to go when the daughter moved out. Plans change, and so do hearts. Now the dad wants the cat to stay. No word yet as to whether that sentiment extends to his daughter. Losing a pet is the same as losing any other family member. When you've said your painful goodbyes, it can be hard to imagine doing it all over again. This man decided to take the plunge, in spite of his aversion, to make his wife happy. After losing his dog from cancer, this dad was very against opening his heart again. His daughter pushed him to come into the shelter with her, and when little Benny climbed into his lap, he couldn't help but fall in love. The man cried and accepted the new friendship. What these dads don't realize is how wonderful a bond with an animal can be. After this father had a stroke, the family pup cozied up to him to help him with his recovery. Though the father didn't want the fur baby at first, they became the best of friends as he made a full recovery. This guy may have had a good reason for not having a pet, since he's unable to pet them. His wife felt differently, and he eventually understood why. You can share your love for your cat in other ways. Now he and his cat watch cat videos together as a way to bond. Hoagie here was 14 when she was adopted, and as a welcome home gift, her new family decided to get her a hat. After all, a lady of such class should only be dressed in the finest of clothes and party hats. When this family visited their local shelter in the hope of adopting a kitten, they were surprised to learn they were only allowed to adopt them in pairs. Judging from the look of these two snugglebugs, it's not hard to see why. Even the Terminator himself couldn't resist welcoming a furry friend into the family. It's safe to say that Arnold Schwarzenegger and this happy-go-lucky pup are a match made in heaven. Hopefully, after he left the shelter, Schwarzenegger told the staff, "I'll be back." This family was worried their senior cat wouldn't be too happy about them adopting a new kitten. Things seem to be going well so far, though hopefully he's been using the last few years to prepare for the now daily piggyback rides. After rescuing a handsome pup from across the country, this family learned that one of his brothers had actually been adopted by someone right in their hometown. You know what that means, right? Playdates. When this cat lover brought home a stray, they believed they were welcoming a kitten into the family. Little did they know it was actually a tiny little bunny in disguise. Not really, of course, but her tiny pink nose and small frame certainly look bunny-like to us. Parrots don't exactly seem like the type of pets to enjoy company, you know, with all the snarky comments and all. But when this family brought home a pal for their feathered friend, they proved it's true what they say. Birds of a feather flock together. This cutie pie really seems to be enjoying his first post-adoption trip to the dog park. It's safe to say all that open space and those good smells are a heck of a lot better than being cooped up in a cage at the shelter. This rescue kitten takes the phrase, "I'm baby," to a whole new level. Fortunately, it looks like this little girl is more than willing to play along. How cute is it that these two will no doubt grow up side by side. They'll go through all kinds of milestones together. Meet Bear. When his new family first brought him home, he was a little camera shy. Can you blame him after spending so much time in an animal shelter? Just a few days later, he was finally ready to show off those pearly whites. Looking good. This adorable little fella was adopted after he was found abandoned outside a pet store. I wonder what he's more relieved about, finding a forever home, or not having to spend another minute in a PetSmart parking lot. This little baby was rescued after being found hiding on a potato farm. Their owner wasn't sure what to call the adorable kitten though. Potato would probably be a good fit. Still, this little guy probably won't want to eat any potatoes anytime soon. Just a few hours after Digit here was adopted, he'd already made his owner's lap his new favorite sleeping spot. Getting adopted is exhausting after all. Let's hope he doesn't snore, and we're talking about the owner here, not the dog. This good girl was adopted just a day before she was set to be put down for being too anxious. As it turns out, she was just a little gassy from the not-so-great food the shelter had been feeding her. We've all been there. When this family found out their friends could no longer keep their senior dog, they jumped at the chance to bring him home. At his old house, he wasn't allowed to lay on the couch. Safe to say he's already enjoying his new digs. This rescue pup wasted no time in bonding with his new owner as he carried him out of the pet store. Look how happy he is to have a new family, At the end of the day, all animals really want is to be loved. When this family set their sights on one of these 2 cats, the shelter insisted that they had to be adopted together. You can't destroy true love. Even since being brought home, the BFFs have remained inseparable. The more cats, the more cuddles, am I right? Not everyone ages well, but this 14-year-old pup is cute from tongue to toe. Even her giant eyes still look youthful to us. She's a bit of a screecher according to her owner, but these howls really just mean, I love you, in dog. This pretty lady clearly isn't much of a backseat cat. Nope, she wanted to be up close and personal with her new owner. On her ride home from the shelter, she perched on her owner's shoulder the entire way. Now that's a quality co-pilot. For several weeks after being adopted, little Zelda thought her big sister Chloe here was her mommy. An honest mistake for sure, but Chloe didn't seem to mind one bit. Now that Zelda has been adopted, she's officially part of the family anyway.